If you don't stand for something, then you will fall for anything. That's an old school statement that's never rang more true than today in 2023. And in a world where we're becoming increasingly more sensitive, and it's not just how you say stuff, it's what you say. In a world where we're becoming increasingly more cognitive of treating people right, and we're learning how to accept and treat and love all people for who they are, we also got to be careful not to infringe upon other people's beliefs. We got to be careful not to be infringing upon people's right to raise their kids the way that they want to. Today's episode is dedicated to just that. And what do I mean by that? In a world where nobody is able to stand on anything, where nobody is able to express an opinion and to be able to stand on it as a woman or man and what they believe in, then guess what? We're living in a world where we cannot stand for anything, and we're definitely falling for everything. Now, this is a real sensitive topic I want to talk about today. And I know some of these videos aren't the most popular because in the times that we live in, everybody's afraid to speak their opinion. So either you're taught and trained to be quiet and don't say anything at all, or you have to agree with some of these issues that I'm going to be able to talk about today. And while I have no problem with people voicing their opinion, I'm putting content out there and I want you guys to give comment and feedback. But you also got to respect the right for me to feel like I want to feel, or me to believe in what I want to believe in. This is where I think we're coming to a demise here in this country, because what we're seeing is people not only want you to respect them, they also want you to agree with them and live in their fairy tale world. We're going to get into what I'm talking about with that in regards to this issue. But on today, I need you to do what you came to do. My name is Anthony Simmons, and if you're watching this far, then you know what you're watching. You're watching Higher Heights. For those who are already supporting the platform, I really greatly appreciate y'all. But for your boy, do what you came to do. If you're new to the channel, let me let you know what you can do to the channel. I need you to go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, because you definitely don't want to miss when I'm dropping content like this. With no further ado, let's get it. Now, me speaking on homosexuals, when me speaking on transgender, when me speaking on the LGBTQ IA plus community, period, I'm always cognitive of how I say what I say, because I do understand that we once lived in a world where people were persecuted for their sexual preference. People were persecuted for their way of life. I don't want to go to the extreme to where I feel like they were persecuted like black people or like Jewish people, because in this world, a lot of people's movement want to find their way attached to those struggles. I don't deem it as hard as those struggles are. But I will say this, I do understand that for a long time people had a lot of hard issues coming out to say that they were gay, or to say that they wanted to choose to sleep with the same sex, or they wanted to dress this way, or they wanted to identify this way. I do understand those things. So I don't want to come off as a person who doesn't understand it. Yeah, you've had a struggle being able to come out of the closet. And yes, I understand this. As a younger version of myself, a black man in America, I probably could have been deemed homophobic with some of the terms we used to be able to get away with saying when I was a kid, and get away with tossing around with each other in jokeful fashion. You can't do that anymore. I'm okay with that, because I'm not down for disrespecting anybody. So this is my disclaimer on this video. I don't believe that we should disrespect or disregard anybody because of their sexual preference or what they choose to do in life. However, we all have things and issues that we like to do in life, and I believe that everybody's going to have to answer to God for whatever they choose to do, whatever lifestyle they choose to live. It's not my job on this channel, nor is it my intention to judge or condemn, but it is my right to speak what I believe. It is my right to say how I feel and the standards that I feel like I want to raise my kids. So with that being said, this is my opinion. This is what I feel. This is what I believe. And I'm going to stand on it, because I talk to people all the time, and I always try to tell them, it's one thing to respect people. It's one thing not to disrespect people and to tear them down and to judge and to condemn. And it's another thing for you to make me want to agree with the way you're living. Now, this is the problem that I got with today's society. Not only do people want you to respect their right to feel like they feel, respect their right to live the way they want you to live, they also want you to agree. And if you don't agree, then they have a problem with you. They want to call you a hater. They want to say that you're judging. They want to say that you're condemning them. That's not the case, and I'm not going to live that way. I'm going to be able to say what I want to say as a free man in this country. Now, with that being said, this is how I feel. If you steal $20 from me and I call you a thief, does that make me judging you? Does that make me condemning you? No. I'm not your judge, jury, and execution, but I can call a spade a spade. If I see you do a certain action and I say that's what you are, then that's what you are. If you stand on the street and you sell your body and I call you a prostitute or a whore, that's what you are. I'm not judging or condemning. When did we get to the point in society where we can't call things like we see them without somebody saying that we're judging or condemning? I'll tell you when people had agendas to prove, when people started wanting to prove an argument or stand on a certain point, so they put you in a situation to where you really can't even speak your mind. You damn near got to be quiet and stay in your own lane in order not to get in any controversy today. And trust me, I'm cool with that too, because guess what? I am that type of person, a private person who's like to stay in my own lane. Don't bother nobody. Don't get in the mix with nobody. But when it comes to issues like I'm going to be talking about today with the transgender society, then I guess I got to speak on it. And I'm going to have to stand on it, and whatever comes behind it, a fight come with it. Nah, let me quit playing. But anyway, with that being said, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. What I'm talking about is the way that transgender women are actually infringing upon the right of actual naturally born women. I've covered this topic a couple of times, and I didn't put some of the detail or nuances in that I really feel like I need to touch on, because when I was younger, and I'm not trying to blame women for this, but I remember it when I was younger, we used to have this thing in the men's community where we would see a group of women hanging out with a lot of homosexual men, or they felt like it was okay to hang out with a lot of homosexual men. Who am I to tell you who you're supposed to hang with? But women are kind of sensitive, and they see things in a different way than men do. And we know that. That's just the dynamics of the world today. So a lot of women always used to be accepting of gay and homosexual people. It's been men throughout history that have been more not accepting, or more or less not willing to accept people for who they were. I got to take ownership of that. But what we're seeing today is a lot of these transgender women who are men who are turning into women, and women who are turning into men. The transgender community are infringing upon the rights of the inherent people who were born and assigned by God these genders. Look, this life is full of choices. We got to wake up every day and make decisions on how we want to live life based on the surroundings, based on where we're from, based on how we have to get through the day-to-day struggle. But one of the choices that I don't feel like is inherently ours is what we are assigned at birth. A lot of people want to get on TV and on these commercials and say, hey, well, I was assigned female at birth. I was assigned male at birth. That has nothing to do with what the doctor's opinion of you were. Like, if you were born with a penis, they're probably going to say you were male. If you were born with a vagina, they're probably 9 times out of 10 going to say that you're a biological woman. So people try to change the narrative how they want to do. So for the transgender community to come in and say, well, they get to identify with the same struggles as the opposite sex when they make their transformation is kind of ridiculous, because you don't get to attach yourself to that struggle simply because you woke up and made a decision that you wanted to live this way. It's sort of like I say about the homosexual community. Who you choose to sleep with is your business. You can choose to sleep with this person, this sex, or that sex. I can't choose to wake up tomorrow and not be black. This is the problem that I have with them attaching their struggle to the human rights struggle, to the black struggle, because I cannot choose to wake up tomorrow and be white or be Chinese or be Russian. I got to be a 6'4", 6'5" black man regardless, because this is who God sent me here to be. Now, more power to the people who wake up and take power over their life and say, hey, I was born a man, but I choose to identify as a woman. That's your right. We all have what's called free will, and you get to make the decisions that you want. But the problem I have is when your decisions are starting to be infringing on the beliefs and the rights of other people. Now, what do I mean by that? It's not enough that people don't disrespect you anymore. People don't throw slurs your way anymore. It's not enough that people dang near can't get on TV or their own platforms and say the things that they want to say anymore that probably were kind of damning or kind of bad or kind of condemning towards you. You also want people to live in your world of this choice that you made. Now, we all know that there are men who wake up and choose to be women, and there are women who choose to wake up and say that they identify as men. The biggest issue and the place where it's hitting home the most and the quickest in this society is on the women's side, because you don't see a lot of the women who choose to be men actually affecting the men community as much as you see the women who choose to be the men who choose to be women affecting the women. When it comes down to you saying there's no such thing as a natural born woman, that's actually disrespectful to natural born women. When it comes down to you saying you're a man and you want to become a woman and now you want to compete against natural born women in sports, that's kind of disrespecting everything that women have fought for over the years, every struggle that a woman has faced. When you get to wake up at 30 years old, 40 years old and start to change your identity and you get to attach yourself to a struggle that's been going on before you were alive, that's kind of disrespectful to me. And if I was a woman, I start to see this and start to understand the dynamics of what's happening. Not only are you breaking down the constructs of what a family is, of what it means to have a father and a mother, which is what it takes to procreate in this world, you're also trying to break down barriers that are going to cause people to see things in a way that is just simply not reality and simply not the norm. Now, we have this issue these days where we're trying to train kids to treat everybody right, to treat everybody respectful, and they're pushing agendas in these schools that kids can see. Two mommies are normal, two daddies are normal. And under any normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. But except for the fact that you're not going to convince me that there's not an agenda behind it, because you want to take these kids who are not even thinking about sex, not even thinking about who they want to sleep with. They still see little Sally as just like a boy, or little Sally sees John just like a little girl. They could care less what their gender is when they're playing in a sandbox. But you want to push an agenda on them so that you can normalize your lifestyle and so that you can train up a new generation not to see it as abnormal at all, when that's exactly what it is. Now, if you've been watching my channel long enough, then you know my pet peeve. You don't want to start pushing that agenda when we haven't even sat down as a country and addressed the struggle of black people, period, the struggle of the treatment of people of color, period. But yet we're so invested in showing them about sexuality. We're so invested in over-sexualizing our kids and making sure that they treat people and who they want to sleep with or who they want to identify with. We're so invested in making sure that they know that this is normal for people to choose to change their genders or choose who they sleep with. And we're not worried about the things that really are of concern. We don't go to schools teaching people about young kids about going to war. We don't start going to school and promoting alcohol to our kids, because guess what? They're not of age to even be having those conversations in elementary school. So the same way goes for sex. But I really want to stick on this topic about being a natural born woman or a natural born man. It's one thing for you to choose and live a certain life. I respect it totally. Maybe I shouldn't have an opinion about it. Cool, I can agree to disagree on that. But it's another thing for you to make me want to have to live in your fairy tale world, for me to have to accept a norm that's not a norm in my life. It's one thing for me not to say anything disrespectful to you, to tear you down, to judge or condemn you. It's not my place to do that. I have no heaven or hell to put you in, whether or not you believe in those things or not. But I do have the inherent right. I do have the ability, last time I checked in this world, to say what I believe and stand on it. And this is the problem I have with the culture and the society today, that we don't have room anymore to raise our kids in a safe space, in a safe environment, without having to worry about on TV people pushing and shoving agendas down our kids' throat. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm a natural born woman, no, I don't want somebody who woke up at 30 years old as a man and saying, hey, I'm a woman today and I want to compete against women's sports. What about all the records that women have set in women's sports? What about all the things women have strived to accomplish in women, in just the lifestyle period, in just the workforce? And you have some transgender person coming in and competing with you. And competing with you when we know that biologically, and you can't change biology, biologically it's proven that men are built different than women. I'm going to say it if nobody else says it. We're built totally different. This is why we're the stronger vessel. It's not because our mental acumen is better. We know that women can be just as smart as men. It's the fact that we are physically built different. The capabilities and the limitations on each gender is noticeably different. And so what I'm going to say is even the smallest man compared to a bigger woman can be stronger than her, can be faster than her, can be more agile than her, can be more athletic than her. And that's not a knock against women. That's just saying the simple facts that we're built different. It's something to be said for the OG things, or the OG statement that I said when I first came in there. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell. I'm just simply speaking on the text. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that this is right? Do you think it's right for transgender women to try to be campaigning to say that there isn't a such thing as natural born women? And if you're a woman out there, I'm really wanting to hear your opinion. And if you're a man, I need to hear your opinion as well. Chime in and let me know what y'all think about this. Because like I said in the earlier part of this video, I have no problem with people waking up and choosing to do what they want to do in their life. I just have a problem with them shoving it down somebody else's throat. We don't like people to come and express their political views. We say that in church all the time. You shouldn't bring your political views in church trying to influence somebody else to think like you think or believe like you believe. We're supposed to live in America where everybody has the right to live how they want to live. It's when they start infringing upon your rights that it becomes a problem. So make no mistake about it. If you don't stand for something, you will truly fall for anything. And I'm telling y'all that right now. Look, I need y'all to leave it in the comments, and I need y'all to support the channel, because I want to thank everybody who's doing it right now, everybody who's supporting me, everybody who's sharing me, everybody who's liking, and especially those who are not afraid to leave a comment in the comment section. Listen, it's a free country. Talked to somebody earlier today. People think I have a problem. I don't have a problem with comments. Actually, I love the comments. Whether positive or negative, that's your opinion. I want you to leave them in the comments, and if I have time, you know I'm going to get back at you. Until next time, be blessed.